Communism is a political and economic ideology that advocates for the collective ownership and control of resources, goods, and services by the community as a whole. The ultimate goal of communism is to create a classless society in which the means of production are owned and controlled by the workers, who are also responsible for their distribution and consumption. The philosophy of communism can be traced back to the work of Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, who wrote extensively on the topic in the 19th century. However, the application of communist principles has varied greatly in different countries and at different times, and its implementation has often been controversial. At its core, communism seeks to address the social and economic inequalities that arise in capitalist societies. In capitalist economies, private individuals or corporations own the means of production, and workers are paid for their labor. The owners of capital often accrue large profits, while workers receive only a portion of the value of their labor in the form of wages. This results in a class division between those who own capital and those who do not, with the former holding a disproportionate amount of power and wealth. Communism seeks to eliminate this class division by transferring ownership of the means of production from private individuals to the community as a whole. Under communism, all individuals are considered equal members of society, and work is seen as a collective effort. Rather than working for individual profit, workers produce goods and services for the benefit of all members of society. The distribution of these goods and services is also determined by the community, rather than by market forces or individual preferences. Communist societies are typically organized around a central government that controls economic planning and decision-making. This central authority is responsible for allocating resources, determining production quotas, and coordinating the distribution of goods and services. In theory, this approach allows for more efficient and equitable use of resources, as decisions are made based on the needs of the community rather than the profit motives of individual actors. However, in practice, communist governments have often been criticized for their lack of transparency and accountability, as well as for their tendency to become authoritarian and repressive. This is particularly true in cases where communist regimes have taken power through violent revolution or other means. In many cases, communist governments have restricted individual freedoms, suppressed dissent, and committed human rights abuses in the name of preserving the revolution and maintaining social order. Despite these criticisms, communism continues to hold a significant place in political and economic discourse, particularly in countries where income inequality and social unrest are major concerns. Proponents of communism argue that it offers a more equitable and sustainable alternative to capitalism, while critics point to its historical failures and the dangers of centralizing too much power in the hands of the state. In conclusion, communism is a political and economic ideology that seeks to create a classless society in which the means of production are collectively owned and controlled by the community. While it has been widely debated and implemented in various forms throughout history, its core principles continue to be relevant in contemporary discussions of economic and social justice.